Guys, it's Pixel here, and today I'm going to be covering the defense portion of this game. So I'm going to be talking about what kind of defense options does this game have, where to use them, and how to use them. Basically, it's going to be your bread and butter of the defense aspect of this game. I'm pretty sure everyone already knows the offense aspects. They're pretty strong, and you can be really overwhelmed if you do not know what to do in terms of defense. So I'm going to help you guys in the defense department, okay? So, first of all, I'm gonna go into controls. I'm not gonna tell you to read everything and all that, alright? Let's go here. So basically, this game has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kinds of different counter techniques, and then there's defense, alright? Counter techniques are also a part of defense, but let me break it down for you. So this is perception. You must have seen it like tons of times. People use it all the time. So there's not a lot of difference between perception and super perception. I'm gonna be using classic controls, so keep that in mind, okay? So we're gonna start with perception. Perception basically allows you to counter pretty much any melee attack. So perception's whole purpose of perception is to counter melee attack. So let me give you an example. So basically, alright, let's do this. So circle and triangle is perception, okay? And I'm gonna be setting my key gauge to max and skill count bar. Yeah, let's do this. This sounds fine. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna doing circle and triangle. So as a circle, I'm circle and doing triangle. Basically, you see Goku changes his stance. This is perception. It's gonna counter by itself whenever I get take a melee hit. And you can do sometimes you can do a follow-up with certain characters with a triangle. There you go. So that's gonna be a perception. Super perception is basically the same thing, except it deflects or say counters certain stronger moves. Another good thing, so you must have noticed every single person in the PvP is going to spam perception every single second. They say as long as they're not guarding, you're in their face, you're going to use perception every single time. Here's how to break it. As you can see, Vegeta's using perception. Come on. Oh. So he's using perception. What are you gonna do? He's not using it as much, but an average player, every player, is gonna be doing this. I'm not even kidding. You're gonna see this a lot if you haven't already, but yeah. How to break it? Don't do melee. Grab is going to be your best friend. Just double X, grab. It goes through perception, remember that. Another thing you can do is throw Ki Blast on their face, then you can start with a combo. And that's a perception on a revenge counter, by the way. That's how you get that animation. Another thing you can do is use characters that have basically a rolling hammer in their rush chain. Rolling hammer in their rush chain is a really good way to basically get rid of perception. Let me show you where there is. Sorry, rolling hurricane. Rolling hammer and then rolling hurricane. That's different. So rolling hammer is what you gotta do. Now, I think for Goku Super Saiyan, Goku Super Saiyan, that's the character I'm using. 3 squares and then triangle. You turn them around, then you can go bonkers on the back, unless they do basically C counter, up square. So, as I was saying, super perception is basically the same thing, except it basically takes one skill count. I'm gonna change the setting of skill count so that you can see, and it also, perception consumes your key meter, alright? It's gonna be consuming your key meter and skill count bar, alright? Here we go. Look, as you can see on the top left, the meter is being depleted the more I keep the stance on. Alright, now jumping to super perception, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan because Goku can refill his super meter right away, as you can see. Anyway, so here's an example of I'm gonna show you how to use super perception. So he's gonna throw a beam. You gotta make sure you have a beam, you have a bar. I basically blasted it away. And when you're in the ground, Goku, your character's gonna do that, but if you're in the air, he's gonna slap it away. But mind you, this takes away some of your meter the longer you're in the stance. Also, it's gonna consume your key skill gauge, basically. get a skill count bar. So I'm gonna make sure that you guys see it. It's gonna take 2 every time it's being used. All right. Here you go. It's went from 6 to 4, but it is very useful when you need to escape. All right. Next, I'm gonna move. Same with super perception. Another thing it basically does is, you know, it's gonna do perception, right? That's another thing that perception does. All right. That's super perception, by the way. It took me 1 bar, but it really it counters a lot of things. So I'm gonna be countering it. Super perception. So basically, that's the whole premise of super perception. It can deflect the beams. It can counter like a strong hit, but it'll take a skill count. All right, keep that in mind. Now, next I'm gonna go to basically another counter type. So counter technique is gonna be revenge counter. Now, this is basically a button that, in short, it means get it off me. If you want someone to get off of you, like they're 2 in your face, like they're trying to attack you in all this every single second, just use this, you're escaping. All right, it's gonna take you again, it's gonna take 2 skill counts, but it's really good. I'm gonna make sure that we have the skill gauge. All right, so he's gonna attack me, and he countered my. That's basically it. So regardless of what you get hit by, other than say like a super or ultimate, you're pretty much gonna make sure that you're throwing them off. Like, yeah, get off of me. You're going to hit them back real hard. But then again, as you could see, they can use super perception to counter your revenge counter. So that's a thing, yeah. I'm gonna show you another example. All right, so yes, I'm gonna make them use revenge counter. The CPU is gonna use revenge counter, and we also are going to use revenge counter. Alright. So Vegeta's gonna have full gauge. We're gonna have full gauge. Just remember, it's gonna cost you 2 skill counts every single time you're going to use revenge counter, alright? So revenge counter is basically like, it's gonna use it, I'm gonna use it. It's basically I'm pressing L1 twice on classic controls. You can counter it.
I can barely feel a thing.
But it's just gonna use revenge counter again on me. You see my point. So you can basically tank everything and tell someone to stop it. See, I got stunned because there was no follow-up. I didn't have a follow-up. So the best I could do is get stunned. Alright? But yeah, this can go on and on. If, say, for example, Vegeta's 5, I have 6. I can do 3, he can do 2, right? It's gonna go back and forth, but I'm pretty sure this is not the way to use it, because the more you use it, you're wasting your skill counts. Alright, like this. So you're gonna be wasting a lot of skill counts if you keep using it, and it's not gonna be good for you because you're wasting a lot of resources over the time, for like menial, like small damage, and it's not gonna get anywhere. He used 1. Alright, he's down to 2. I still have more. We don't have any resources now. I hope you get the point. So don't use it, only use it when like they're not gonna use it against you again and again, and you can use 1 and be done with it. Alright, next we are gonna go to another counter technique. It's called high speed evasion. Really simple, just press circle or say the guard button, R1 basically on the standard controls instead of classic. You have to basically press circle or like I said, guard button on the very exact time, so you can basically vanish. Let me show you. This is the whole idea of it. So I didn't press it on time this time, but again, I didn't press it, but if I do, give me a sec. Yeah, and then you can do a follow-up. The follow-ups were with triangle. You can do about 2 to 3 more follow-ups, and in the end you can press the guard button again to basically get the combo going. I mean, the circle, the guard button would be the combo ender. So this is what I mean. You can do this, and then you press guard button in the end. So that's basically high speed evasion. It's gonna be, so there are two kinds. Let me tell you this. There are two kinds, is as in, so you can basically use high speed evasion to basically end their combo right away, or you can use high speed vanish, like to attack them back and forth. All right, let me show you this. So the game mode, as you could see, so the way he vanished is how you are going to react with a vanish. So if they did a vanish basically to change their location to trick you, you're gonna press circle, you're gonna follow up with them, and they'll be tricked unless they follow up with you back and forth. So that's how it's gonna go. Now, this is the different type of vanish, alright? So basically that's the whole idea of high speed vanish. You have to press circle on time and call it a day. I'm gonna link a short that I could show you. Basically, there's a lot of back and forth vanishing in that one. As you can see, look at this. That's also vanishing, but it's not high speed vanishing. So opponent, I'm gonna make them reverse chains. Here's high speed vanish. And that's how you end the combo basically. You can vanish before, saves you a lot of damage. Now here's the thing, if you vanish first, you're not going to do a follow-up attack, but if you do in the final hit, you're going to do a follow-up attack. As you can see, no follow-up attack. But if I do in the end, it's going to be a follow-up attack. I vanished again. This is a follow-up attack. Depends on the situation. If it's going to be a vanish smash attack like that, it's gonna do a follow-up. Otherwise, it's not gonna do it. All right. I hope that's clear. And moving on to the next one after this one. All right. I hope you guys get the idea. Anyway, moving on to the next one. It's gonna be, we say, super counter. The most important technique, or say the defense mechanism in this game. This is going to do wonders for you. You know how people are always going to be running at your back as a sparking mode, right? And they're spamming the whole auto combo behind you all the time. This is where you can basically use this and you can escape pretty much anything other than blast. In terms of melee, this is like going to be your best savior. You can use it. You have to be perfectly timed it. You have to time it really perfectly. It's hard. Even I'm really struggle at it, but yeah. I'm gonna show you guys. So in this situation, when you're being thrown all over the place, you can either do super counter or you can do high speed damage. Like that. You can basically press circle on time, card button on time. I'm gonna tell you again and again, it's gonna be hard. Like he did it. That's super counter basically. That's super counter, by the way. This is how you turn the tide. Z counter can get you out of everything. I'm gonna repeat this again and again. It's the best mechanic you can use. You can spam it, yes. Just gotta make sure if you're spamming it, it's got to be in a way that you're pressing up and square at the same frame. Instead of, you're not gonna hold up and then spam square. You're gonna press both things at the same time simultaneously, alright? I'm gonna tell you, so here's another way I can show you. Yeah, let me show you this way. So I'm gonna use it. That's a spam Z counter there. I'm gonna do it again. Here, take a look. It works. It's hard. You can take some damage before it starts working. If you feel like you can vanish, I would suggest you to vanish if you're not comfortable with Z counter. But here's the thing, they can vanish back. So there's the price you can pay. You can do this instead of using Z counter, but not on every single move obviously. Another good thing, option, as I was mentioning before, Wild Sense. I activated it. There you go. You can do that. Z counter. I was spamming it. That's how it works. Because the timing of it is so difficult that you have to spend a lot of time. It's basically Tekken's electric of this game. You know how you do electrics with the Mishimas? Basically the same thing, but in this game. But it is really precise. So yeah, you have to spam it to make it work, or you have to be really precise with the timing. Only two ways to do it. And it can get out of pretty much everything. Even from the back attacks. Yes, it can back. It's like, there you go, another one. And then you can do this follow-up step. That's going to be your best friend. You gotta keep practicing. There's no other way to learn Z counter. That's sad, as sad it is. This is the truth. You gotta learn. You gotta get the timing down, or you can spam like in a way you like, but it has to work for you, obviously. Other than that, in terms of defense, you gotta keep an eye how to block highs and lows. So he's doing the kicks, you have to block that up. If he's doing the sliding, you have to block low. Because if you don't, if he does the kicks, it's going to break your guard. If he does the, say, low, charging low, right? So like this, if he does this and you're blocking guard normal, it's gonna break your guard. That's the revenge counter, by the way. So to sum it up, you're gonna use revenge counter when you're really, like, say, unable to escape. Press L1 twice. I think it's R3 twice on the standard controls. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong, but yeah, it's basically the revenge counter button. You have to spam it twice, like on standard controls. All right. Other than that, I'll tell you, you are going to practice a lot on the vanishes, which you have to do the walk. You have to practice a lot on the, when you say Z counters or say super counter, Z counter, and then other than that, block. Now. Yep, that's basically how it works in Dragon Ball, right? Yeah, that's how it usually goes. As you can see, he's using Z counter and vanishes together. It really gives a lot in your arsenal. You are able to do counters with a lot of the phase. So it's not like you won't be overwhelmed, is what I'm saying. If you can do both. If you're relying on one, it's gonna cost you a lot of bar because vanishes cost bar. Here, I'm gonna show you. This vanish won, but the vanish that hits back is gonna cost bar. I'm gonna take a hit. It's gonna cost bar. As you can see, it cost me a little bit. Still not the end of the world. You can use like quite a few times, but then again, you'll be down on resources. Now if I can keep blocking wrong, as you can see, I'm not blocking in the direction I should. It's gonna break my shield, or say ki eventually it's gonna put me in stress. Not stress, I think it's called, give me a second, it is called collapse. It's called collapse. Basically you're completely defenseless. It's basically, you know, how the Xenoverse version of basically finished stamina. Your stamina is empty, you can't do much. It's that, but worse. Basically you can't do anything at all. You can attack, you can do anything. You have to basically regain your stamina back, or say the key, at least 1 bar of key back, by spamming all the buttons. So that's hard. Okay, another thing I would like to tell is basically how to use side steps. Side steps in this game can really change your attacking game, basically. It's a really strong defensive mechanic that not a lot of people I see using. Let me show you, where is it? Rush chains, yeah, let's do this. So you can do it 2 kinds of vanishes, basically 2 kinds of dodge, say side steps. So you can either do this, So you can do this, or you can do another one, which is basically physically moving to the left or right. I'm gonna show you. So if you say, if someone's guarding a lot, right? He's guarding a lot, right? What are you gonna do is, you're gonna do this. So how to do it? Pretty easy. Mash square, or like do the basically the square combo. While you're in the middle of it, if you know that he's blocking like 2 or 3 hits, say, right? He's blocked now. Just press block in with the direction you want to vanish in, like this. It's gonna cost, I think, some bar. Yeah, it's gonna cost some bar on the top left. It's not a lot, really worth it, I'd say. Basically, it's gonna go in a direction where they're not blocking. You gotta go in a direction where they're not blocking, right? It's gonna cost you some bar, but again, you're gonna go in a direction where they're not blocking. You have to decide which direction you want to vanish in so that you can continue attacking. So like, I'm not gonna drop my combo, I'm gonna still going on, but I'm gonna end up attacking them instead of them blocking me, okay? Here, take a look. Another good way to block difference is this. Rolling hammer or heavy finish. They're really good ways to do it. I'll explain the rest of that defense stuff later in a different video, but for this one we're going to focus on defense. So what I was saying is basically it's going to be on the ground. Alright, there we go. So you can do this. So this is really useful when they are attacking as well. How even this is a lot better. Costs you a little bar, but does wonders. And they're not able to keep their guard up unless they realize you're moving in that direction. They have to basically leave the guard, and then move in that direction, and then block again, right? You're going to hit them. I'm telling you, this is like one of the best ways to overcome a guard. I hope this helps you to get a clear vision of things, where to use, what to use. Alright, let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna be making another video on offense. Alright, I'm sure there are certain aspects of this video that may or may not be clear, because I was not able to stick to one thing, because they are all interlinked in a way that you have to use one thing for the other, right? So I was unable to stick to one thing at the same time. However, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I do plan on making an offense video some point soon. But yeah, for that, give me suggestions. I'm completely open to them. I'll be able to, so that I can implement them in the video next, right? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace. Bye bye.